Hi everyone, Kristi Maggio here, and I am so happy to be here with you at the Global Youth Education Summit. I am the CEO and founder of Maggio Multicultural Academy, and I am happy today to share with you two topics that are really important to me. The first one I'm going to talk about is responsibility. Okay, and for this, I'm actually going to read the chapter on responsibility from the book that I am just finishing writing at this moment for young people, and it's called Follows and Likes. Is That All I'm Worth? And so it's a book on understanding success and what success is in the age of social media. So I start out the chapter with a quote by Les Brown, who is an amazing motivational speaker if you don't know who he is. And it says, "Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you where you want to go, and no one else." So I start out the chapter as responsibility in today's world, even on the smallest level, seems to be lacking in a tremendous way. I see this most in young people that I have worked with throughout the years, and the trend seems to be getting worse instead of better. Unfortunately, we live in a world where making excuses is accepted, and where parents allow their children to get away with being irresponsible by making excuses for them. You may remember a time when you chose to not study for an important test or left an assignment until the last minute, knowing you would fail or not receive a good grade. However, you still decided not to be responsible and chose not to do it. Why? A lot of times it's because in the back of our mind we know that there is some way to get out of having to do it in that moment. There is someone else we can blame it on. Or your mom or dad will advocate for you to give you another chance. Why should you have another chance when you consciously chose not to do the responsible thing, which would have been to study for the test or do the assignment? Do you think your parents are helping you by swooping in to save the day for your lack of responsibility? Absolutely not. And parents that are doing this are sending a clear message to their child that they don't need to be responsible. When a parent does this for a child, it does much more than harm than good. First, you are being taught that if you choose to be irresponsible, then there aren't any consequences. While not studying for a test or doing an assignment may not seem overly detrimental, in the long term, imagine if that were a task your boss asked you to accomplish at work, and you decided you didn't feel like doing it. Are you going to bring your mom and your dad to work to explain why you didn't complete the work your boss had asked you to? No, of course you're not. Your boss is going to fire you, and then you will most likely make an excuse and put the blame on your boss or someone else, because in your mind, it couldn't possibly be your fault. Technically, if you have never been held accountable or needed to be responsible for your actions because someone always came to your rescue, then in reality, it is not completely your fault. However, the day is going to come where you will have a very rude awakening for your lack of responsibility. And hopefully, by listening to this, you will understand. Let's use another example. You have a job interview tomorrow for a summer internship at a place you would really love to work. Let's just say it's Google, okay? However, the night before, your friend has a big party, okay? And you have FOMO. If you don't know what it is, fear of missing out. If you aren't there for the entire time, you interview at 8 o'clock in the morning. And in your mind, you know what you should do. Okay? You should go home, stay home, get rest, and get up first thing in the morning to go to that interview for that internship because it's a great opportunity. However, you have the little voice in your mind, in your head, that comes out to make viable excuses. You can make to reschedule the interview. What are these excuses? Like, oh, you only live once. I'm young. I should be able to go to this party, right? So you choose to be irresponsible because you think someone else will bail you out. The next day comes, you miss the interview, you have your mom or dad call to tell them you are sick, and you have to reschedule the interview. Maybe. Or maybe not. So that morning your mom comes into your room and she says she called and they were sorry to hear that you weren't well. However, today is the only day for interviews and there are no other available appointments. The ship has sailed. You lost a great opportunity. However, in your mind, you are searching to shift the blame on someone else. You say, how can they do that? What if I really was sick? That wouldn't be fair. Or you try and blame your parents. Why didn't you make me come home? You knew how important this was. Or you say to yourself, it's not my fault. I'm a teenager. I'm supposed to have fun and enjoy life. I shouldn't have to be pressured to make such choices. While this might be the path you are meant to travel, and foregoing this position at Google possibly will open a different or better door for you, you cannot know this at this time. Being responsible is not making excuses or shifting the blame on someone else, but taking the responsibility for yourself. If you are running late and you miss the bus, it's your fault for not getting up earlier to ensure you had enough time to be on time. If you are finding a class difficult and don't like the teacher and are failing, it's your fault. Because in life, nothing is easy. You won't like everyone, and you have to find a way to be your best, no matter what the circumstances may be. Lack of responsibility and feeling there aren't any consequences when it comes to being irresponsible is a major issue today for youth and adults. How many times do we go on TV at this time and we hear one person blaming another for the reason something went wrong in the world? One country blaming another country. And we see it around us all the time. So if I can teach you anything here today, it is to be responsible. And my second lesson, that I'm not going to necessarily read from the book, is for you to look at who you surround yourself with. Because ultimately, who you surround yourself with needs to be those people that are supportive, those people that are going to help push you forward and be the best that you can be. If you're surrounding yourself with not the right crowd, people that just don't have any ambition or goals in life, or somebody that you just don't have positive energy or feel that you should be around just because they're popular or whatever it might be, ask yourself, why am I with this person? Why do I want to be a part of this group? And I will share a story with you that almost got me in a lot of trouble as a young girl. I was hanging around the wrong group of people, and I almost made a very wrong choice one night. I lied to my mom, telling her that I was going to stay overnight at a friend's house and end up going to the part of town that was not a very good part of town, hanging out with some friends. And in that moment, a friend of mine who was standing next to me was hit by another person who started a fight, and she went down and went unconscious. Now, that's an extreme situation. However, when I went into that, I just thought it would be fun hanging out with my friends, doing something that being a teenager. But that moment almost cost me a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and a lot of trouble, not just for me, but for my family. And so after that, I chose and realized that this is not the path that I want to go down. And I started surrounding myself with other people that were doing well, had the same ambitions and motivations that I did. And it wasn't about being popular, and it wasn't about being accepted, because I was an overweight child, and I just wanted to be a part of something. But wanting to be a part of the wrong something is also the wrong answer. So be responsible and surround yourself with great people. Learn from the best. Find mentors. And you too can do great things in this life. And so I just want to show you see it or not, but look out for it in the next couple of months. It's coming out, and I'm excited to share it with you all here today. I am Kristi Maggio. Thank you for attending the Global Youth Education Summit, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.